So let me hear you guys.
Microphone check 1 2. What is this?
Yes.
The Gorilla's back with the roughneck business.
Gorilla's back with the roughneck business.
How's that?
Microphone check 1 2.
Well,
it is this.
I put it on the record.
Not a half stepper. Drink a lot of soda, so they call me Dr. Pepper.
That's Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, he know.
Well, you know
where
what?
I brought that one from. You know where I lifted that.
This
one
is
from.
the start of the Happiness Podcast Project.
Is that the intro?
That's the intro.
This motherfucker stole the intro again. All right, so definitely two things I have to say. Number one, Scott, you have to stop stealing my intro. You do it every time, and it's getting irritating.
You know, China reverse engineers everything, and so we got to take it.
So this is what he does. He listens to my intro, and then he turns around, and he steals it immediately. I don't even know why I still hang out with this person. Number two, as you're going to look around, you're going to see we are not at Nueve. We were scheduled to film at Nueve, but the elephant in the room is that it just did not work out. We are at our guest's residence, which he's humble enough and gracious enough and nice enough to let us come to his house in the middle of the damn night and do this. So
yep.
So I guess I should just go on and introduce a filmmaker, creative writer, overall nice guy.
Sometimes, yeah.
I think he's
so.
being
I hope so.
exceedingly nice
Exceedingly
tonight.
nice today.
Exceedingly nice tonight.
Lightweight weirdo, which makes me actually like him.
It's okay. Weird is the norm. The word for not boring.
Wait, hold on. Have you seen all the SoundCloud rappers? I mean, weird is the thing. Like
weird is
the thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's the end thing.
Hold on. We all got to get rainbow hair tomorrow.
All right, I'm down.
I'm not. And also, I have to say, South San Francisco high school class in 1992.
Yeah. Okay. You can do the math. Do the math. How old are we?
Fellow warrior, even though I graduated from El Camino.
Yeah, he graduated from El Camino, but El Camino was a cool school back then.
Because I got kicked out.
It's all right.
But
I should be putting on my Letterman jacket. I'm gonna during the intermission. I'm just gonna put on my high school Letterman jacket. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna do it.
So, filmmaker of the film Vampariah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Vampariah.
Matthew Abaya.
Yes.
I just realized that Vampariah rhymes with Abaya. Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, I just thought of that now.
Not really. Some people make more fun of that. It rhymes with Mariah. Vampariah, they'll say. No, Vampariah. But then some people can't even pronounce it correctly in the first place. They'll say Vampira, Vampariah.
Hey, I am not gonna lie. I slaughtered the dog shit out of that name over and over again. Then you were like, no, it's like Vampariah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, yeah, like I knew, but I didn't know. I did not know. I was like, hey, Vampira or Vampira. I pronounced all of the characters wrong, but I have to say, before we even go back into your background and talk about how did you get into making film, and of course it's a labor of love. I have to say that I watched the movie twice.
Wow!
I made Scott come over and watch it with me. I was like, we got to watch this. We were just like, I was like,
we resurrected the Liver Olympics.
Yes.
I did not last long.
Yes, we were drinking.
You were drinking and watching it. Okay, I didn't know. Special.
And I have to say that it was absolutely great writing.
Thank you.
Surprisingly good acting too. Like I looked at a lot of the actors and I was like, I have no idea who these people are. And being a stupid layman, when you look at actors and you say, okay, I've never seen this person before. What are they going to do? And I'm like, no, these folks are putting in work. Mm-hmm. And so I want to give kudos to the cast, the crew.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on and say this, just being the lightweight heathenistic. The women were straight fine in the movie.
I'll agree to that.
Women were fine.
You have great taste.
Yes, fine as a anybody who was in that movie. The ladies, y'all was fine as a motherfucker. You kind of fucked me up when you split in half and flew away. But
that was an intended desired effect too. Just the fact that because I'm gonna straight up say it. I'm totally like a leg man, when girls with legs will just kill me every single time, right? And the fact that we have a beautiful woman who's gonna be stripped of that, you know what I mean? And that's a design of the creature. It does definitely say a lot about what is sexuality in this, because she's still a sexual being without her legs.
Okay, so I want to stop right here.
Yeah.
About this, I want to go into your background, then I want to jump right back in.
Yeah. Sorry, I was like,
tell me, how did you get into writing, making movies, and just everything you're doing right now?
Wow, man, I was 8 years old when I started making movies. Believe it or not, because I've known you back in high school. I was already making films. I don't know if you remember in high school. I would just be making weird movies.
No, I just remember you being weird in high school.
Oh, that was
I just fucking with you. We were in band together.
Yeah, we were in band. We were playing clarinets and drums,
and I played trombone.
And
you call him weird.
Yeah,
we were in the band. We were doing the band thing.
Hey, you can just shut up, you thirst trap. But no, we played a band. Matthew was always like quiet, kind of in his own thing, hella cool. Like, I always enjoyed talking to him, but I had no idea that you had a creative side even at that point.
Really? Well, we were in band. I mean, that's already a creative place to be,
But everybody's so creative in band. Everybody's so kind of into their own thing that when you're in the band, you're kind of like in band, and everybody kind of does their own thing on the side. Like,
right.
I did martial arts. I played some sports, but I also I wrote short stories. I wrote like long form stories. I tried to write a book.
Right.
But I had to learn how to spell first because my spelling was straight garbage when I was in high school.
Yeah. Well, that's how you learn. I mean, if I'm trying to get, I also teach, right? If I'm trying to get kids to write, or be better readers and writers, I just get them to write, even if it is garbage. It's like have to remind them that the letter 2 is not, or the number 2 is not to be used on every instance of 2. Now I recall a very funny story. A kid wrote a meme, says, "I woke up too fast that my eyes got blurry." It said, and I go, "Are you not eating?" I go, "What do you mean?" Because it says T-O fast. I thought it meant not eat, but he meant get up 2-0 fast. And so I was all like, okay, there's a reason why that word 2 needs to be spelled correctly.
There's a reason why there's an extra 0 there.
There's an extra 0 to tell you there's too many zeros.
An extra O.
Oh my God, it even caught me there.
I told you.
I'm a little bit sleepy right now because
you got to drink your coffee.
I'm going to drink a little more coffee.
But I'm gonna tell you this. I have no excuse. Everyone knows my spelling is straight trash. If it wasn't from Spell Correct, I wouldn't even just matriculated to like 8th grade.
Oh boy. I don't think that's even legally possible.
So you were creative. You were writing. You were making movies in 8th grade, you said?
Oh yeah, I was doing that. With my friends. We were just running off around the forest that we had at the back of those little kind of wooded areas. Right. Which, by the way, we use the same exact wooded areas for the wood scenes in the film. It wasn't actually Golden Gate Park.
I sincerely thought that was Golden Gate Park.
Yeah. It's just a little piece of trees, but we were able to turn that into a giant forest. But we were shooting in there, and I was trying to figure out, well, I need a forest scene in the movie. And I kept looking for another forest to shoot in, and it just wasn't working out every single time. And then I says, why don't we just go back to the same place we used to shoot our old movies back in high school? I said, all right, let's do it.
That's pretty dope, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it really looked like a gigantic forest.
I would have thought that you were in the middle. I would have thought you were either at Golden Gate Park or you went up north, close to, like, right before the Redwood Forest really kicks in.
Right.
I would have thought you were someplace really deep and wooded. And so what city was that you grew up in?
That was South City.
South San Francisco.
South City. Wow. Then spent a lot of time in Daly City. Now I'm living in San Bruno. And I did live for a while in Millbrae. So always in the San Francisco Bay Area. Very close to
actually the peninsula. Actually.
Yeah, all peninsula.
Yeah. Yep. So there is talent in the peninsula.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Represent.
Excellent. All right. So fast forwarding. And so throughout high school, you did the same thing?
Yeah. I mean, I was shooting movies since I was 8. I had shot with Super 8 cameras when I was 8, those old film cameras.
Right.
You had to go send it, process it at a lab. And then video came in. But I never really ever melded with video because I always felt it looked kind of cheap and was not as good as Super 8. But
yeah. Well, it's funny. Like, one of the things that I discovered was looking at some old video. It was actually, we look at something 720 is like, if it's not 720 or 1080p, you're like, this is garbage, you can't deal with it. Video was like 300. Video was really horrible, but I was so impressed that I could just fast forward and rewind Like when I watch porno, I can watch the same spot over and over again. I was like, this is so awesome. But let me attempt to stay on track. It's been a hell of a night.
Yeah, I'll say.
I will say, so on to college. Did you study filmmaking at college?
Yeah, I did. I first went to CSM, and I was actually back to Super 8 again.
Wow.
They brought me back from my old video. So then I think I really started just get more of appreciation again for shooting actual film. So actual celluloid strips. You had to hold it up to see pictures, count frames. Like every 24 frames is 1 second.
Yeah.
Right. So some people don't know that. Right.
Right.
It's just like you can actually feel this is 1 second of footage. So I would study films there. I also went with I met a lot of my good colleagues, like my friend Jeff Lay played Mr. Fang in the film. I met him there. So we've been together for a while.
So hold on, Mr. Fang, that's the hopping cat, right?
Yes, he's the guy. He's the hopping vampire, and we haven't even talked about what the story's about.
Right,
yet,
right.
One character is a hopping.
We'll get back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm telling you, I was so impressed with the movie.
Yeah,
and understanding that, like when I look at something, I'm not an idiot. I don't look at something with like, oh well, the Avengers is this and that. It's like the Avengers has more money than Jesus.
Yeah.
What really impresses me if somebody does it on a shoestring budget, it's just like our podcast. Mm-hmm. Our podcast is on a shoestring budget. Mm-hmm. We like go to different places. We'll travel to talk to somebody. We'll travel to do anything. We will, like we're very flexible.
Right.
And it's like no matter what happens, and this is something that I like, and I gotta say I appreciate being with Scott.
Yeah.
Things could be crumbling.
Yeah.
But we can pull it off. We could pull off a shoot.
Right.
Like we could be like, man, we got this problem, that problem. Yeah, but we got to shoot tonight.
Got to adapt and find that solution and just.
Well, the truth is, it's like you got to be able, if you're going to work with people in this particular business, you got to be willing to be with people who could go to war with you.
Exactly.
This is it is like a wartime situation. Not that I've ever been a soldier or in war or nothing.
But the
crisis.
I think the analogy is pretty damn close though, because you will find people who talk a good game who won't put up though. Mm-hmm. Who won't put up? They'll just like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
Takes a lot of work.
I'm like, dog, like Scott doesn't even know all the people like I approach for stuff, and they're like, yeah, I'm down with it. And then when I'm done, I'm like, this motherfucker ain't gonna do shit. I just know it all the time. But
right.
You're right. You got to have people around. You have to surround yourself with people about the same mission. And if you have people with the same mission, things are going to be creatively wonderful.
Right.
All right, so here, let me keep track in I don't have my computer set up where I usually have notes.
Right.
Well, like for your movie, I mean, you were talking behind the scenes before the camera started turning on you basically took Vampariah. Sorry, I got to get that wording down. Vampariah.
It's okay. I just learned that shit like 7 minutes ago.
No, I really saw it as Pariah. I just wanted to make sure I got the phonetics correct.
Yeah.
So you said you went gung-ho with it.
Yeah.
You didn't try to make it perfect. You just went at it. And honestly, when I looked at the special effects, when I saw the color grading of the footage, like just imagine the viewer, you guys are seeing how the room looks like. The color was changed so it looked like a music video. It looked like a music video style of coloring.
Right.
And the special effects, they're on point.
Thank you.
They were on point.
I would expect that you had hundreds of thousands of dollars in your budget.
No, nowhere close.
Yeah.
I wish.
He was like, motherfucker, if I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in the budget, I wouldn't have ate beans that year.
It would have been a lot of stuff that would have been done differently. But that's the one thing I never cheap on a film shoot is the food. Because
you're good to your people, right?
Yeah, because like if you can't do anything right for your people, at least they eat right.
Leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership.
They have to eat right. It's just, but I have to say, I want to avoid big burritos because if you eat the burrito, it's like, I don't know if I'm sure you guys like burritos, right? You guys like burritos. Everyone likes burritos.
I like burritos, except the vegan here. He eats like...
Oh, the bean burritos.
But it's just, not only that, it's just like, you can't eat like a big burrito and just not want to fall asleep.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. I don't even know how to... It's like, I don't know how people like, they eat a big burrito at lunch and they go back to work.
It's like, no, I would
I'd
go
be
to
looking
sleep.
at him like, you ain't about to do shit. Dude.
So how were you able to keep the energy up? With
I would always
film?
just try to make sure there was a balance between tasty food versus like really heavy food. So there was like a balance. So just try to go light but tasty things. You know,
excellent. Yeah. I mean, that's actually super considerate, dude. That's super considerate.
That's just common sense on a film shoot. You do not want your crew like having mutiny against you because you just decided to go to Taco Bell.
Well, you know what? They performed,
no offense, Taco Bell. I like your stuff. You know,
they definitely performed very well in the movie. They had the energy. They were energetic. They had the anger. I mean, I'm sure they were angry sometimes because they got some performances out of them.
I was pretty impressed with it. So circling back. You know, Scott, it's usually me who keep doing circles, but it's you this time because you're sitting over there and I'm sitting over here. See, like
it's a different order, different.
Yeah,
it's totally a different.
Because usually I sit
on right
usually
here.
I sit this side. Scott sits on this side, so this is pretty straight weird. But
I'm leaning into it. Yes, you can hear, you can see it.
So, what was your first project? So you went to CSM.
Yeah, College San Mateo.
And then did you go anywhere else, or were you just?
Oh yeah, I went to College San Mateo. Took like Super 8. I actually took a few more classes over at City College San Francisco, where I think I started doing more 16 mil. They didn't really have Super 8 over at College San Mateo, so I kind of jumped over just so I could shoot on bigger celluloid, and I did another few short films with that. Eventually technology started to catch up and we started to shoot on multimedia formats. So I actually, this Vampariah film really was a short film at one point.
Okay.
And that was something I did somewhere in City College, not at CSM, where I would mix media, Super 8 with like Digital 8. And then I would do some digital manipulation and make the footage that I shot in the Digital 8 look like the Super 8 footage.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And I shot all in night vision mode on a camera, like the old night vision scopes that you had. And I would tint it blue, and it would be this kind of weird, eerie aesthetic that I would do. And I made that into a film, and that seemed to gain a lot of attention. I mean, it was about an aswang, which is a Filipino vampire.
Mm-hmm.
But
I always want to ask this question first of all, I'm glad I didn't pronounce it asswap because
asswang
because you're gonna die if you're
gonna die if you call them an asswang.
Yeah. But about so now we can get into the movie. It's about a Filipino vampire.
Right.
Is this actually like a myth or a legend in the Philippines, or is this something you just created?
It's definitely a myth and a legend in the Philippines. Like when I was about 18, I would go to cinemas with my grandmother in the Philippines, and we would watch things. We'd watch all the crazy stuff that like the aswang movies that were going on in the Philippines, and I kind of thought them a little bit hokey at the time,
right? Because
the way there was a certain campiness that I didn't understand quite just yet, being from my American sensibility, me being going back there. And then later on, I heard a poem by a good friend of mine named Russell Gonzaga, where he started kind of getting into deeper meanings about what an aswang is and what does splitting in half mean, And
okay, so I think now it's a good time to really set up like what the movie is. I mean, because we've been talking a lot about it, but we were just giving people little bits and pieces. So basically, Vampariah is a vampire movie.
Yeah.
About a Filipino vampire.
Yeah, well, that's one of the main characters.
Right,
that's the main source of like the drama that ensues in the story. But there's all kinds of vampires in the film.
And actually, I guess there's some, I would say, vampire hunters.
Yep.
That are the best, and we're gonna love this because everybody leaves their heart in San Francisco. The best group of vampire hunters are out of the Bay Area.
They are the baddest.
The elite.
The elite are from here.
The special forces of vampire hunters.
Yep, they're actually at Hunter's Point. Believe it or not.
Yeah. There should be some zombies and vampires.
Yeah, they're all hiding in Hunter's Point. They're just putting up all the toxic waste signs because they want you to stay away from that area. But that's where they're really hiding out.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so let's just talk about a little bit of the plot of the movie, and to give people a little insight.
Yeah, so I mean, it basically follows one hunter named Mahal who is basically on the hunt for this elusive creature because she believes that it killed her parents. Mm-hmm. But when she catches up with her, she finds out that her entire world is going to just go totally 180. You know, it's like something's gonna totally flip her entire universe, and she's gonna have to start having to question who and what she is at that point.
Yeah, and Mahal means my love, right?
Yeah, love. It also means expensive in Tagalog, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a double meaning word. It also could kind of mean word value, like what do you value?
Well, that shit makes hella sense because my love has been very expensive.
Love means mahal means
about
love and
metaphors, and
expensive.
you're thinking about material.
I'm just telling you. Love has been. It's a double entendre.
One of our actresses is like the younger Bampinay. Her name was Mahalia, so she actually had that name.
That's pretty cool.
So that name was an actual cast member too. And I did have another. Yeah, I did know some Mahals over time too. That was kind of fun.
That's dope, man. So going back to it, so her world is turned 180 degrees, and I just have to say, it's just kind of like a ride with her realizing that some of her friends are her friends, some of her friends are her enemies.
Yeah, she always was. You know, I mean, a lot of her relationship with, I guess, because she's a hunter, but she's part of an elite force of hunters.
Right.
I think that kind of does echo, I think, a lot of stories I hear about women who serve in any kind of forces, whether it be police or military. It seems to be that kind of a really kind of a strained relationship, you know, I think. Because, hear about a lot of sexual harassment that happens.
Oh, yeah.
In forces, and
sexual harassment, sexual assault.
That's a real deal thing, and somehow that, by just sheer nature of us talking about what it is, that kind of came out in the film too.
That's yeah. I do remember a couple of times where, but I enjoyed it because you didn't beat anybody over the head with a message. You just kind of like showed it.
Yeah,
it
is what it is,
right? And I think sometimes it's very important that you beat somebody over the head with a message. But sometimes you just have to kind of put it out there and say, okay, this is what it is for this instant. But it doesn't, you don't necessarily have to make the movie all about that for you to put that message in there. And I think sometimes a lot of people are, they kind of like kick themselves in the ass by doing that. Like, you have a great idea, a great story, and then your story kind of morphs into this. And hey, look, if that's what you intended to do and that was your purpose, then of course do what you want to do. You know me, I'm like, do what you want to do because you want to do it, how you want to do it. But don't pass up the opportunity to tell that story to a lot of people. Don't pass up that opportunity. So
it's a horror film, so I mean, it's horror or sci-fi, I think, underrated genres, especially horrors. I think that you can always say the most amount of stuff in a genre like that because it's just already a fun genre to watch.
Yes, exactly.
Most scoffed at genre as well because it's never be the first runner-up for like the Academy Award for Best Picture of the Year. Like, people would start throwing tomatoes at you the moment they hear that story. That's going on.
There would be an uprising.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not exactly sure why horror movies don't get the respect, because everybody's seen them, everybody's enjoyed them, and there are classic horror movies that changed the course of cinematic history. I mean, even the campy ones, The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh yeah, he had a love story last year. He did The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
he had a love story,
and it was like the same thing. Psycho, and also Thing.
Oh man, that's amazing. Those are all amazing.
Just amazing movies. I'm a big science fiction fan.
Oh, you love those too.
And I'm a science fiction horror film fan. So I would like to say that. I think this is going to bring us a good spot to bring us to our first intermission.
Okay, let's do this. I can put on my Letterman jacket then.
Yeah, you'll go put on your South City Letterman jacket.
South City Letterman jacket.
You'll come back. And by the way, fuck you, because your jacket still fits and mine doesn't. And
it actually fits better.
Oh, and by the way,
than then.
Like and subscribe on YouTube. Like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yep.
And also like the Happiness Podcast Project on Facebook.
And also comment. Let's have a discussion about something.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go on a break.
All right, break time. Boom.
We are rolling. We're going. Boop.
Right. We are back with the Happiness Podcast Project.
Yes.
We had just really started breaking into Vampariah and unpacking the plot.
Yes.
Well, who were some of the actors or actresses that you had in the movie?
So Mahal was played by the fabulous Kelly Lou Dennis.
Kelly Lou Dennis.
Yes, I mean she had a few other action films because she also has some martial art background, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
You know.
I seen it seems like she had a good balance in base.
Yeah, she had some. I mean, she has a lot of good acting chops, and I guess that's why I decided that she was appropriate for the role.
For the role, excellent.
Alrino Mario, who I'm actually just been really good friends with. We both are graduated from the Asian American Studies Department at SF State. That was my actual major, believe it or not. It was not cinema, but ethnic studies. But she came from there too, and we also were part of a theater group called Bindle Stiff, which is like a Filipino troupe, like a Filipino black box theater in south of Market.
Okay, so what's a black box theater?
Black box theater is just like kind of like just a regular four wall. It's not like an actual big theater. You know, when you think about what a theater looks, you know, with the rows and column stuff. It's really just four walls, mostly just all painted black, and the seating can be arranged in various patterns and
so like a pop-up theater.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit like it, but it had such a Bindle Stiff has been around for a while, and it's just been a real staple to the South of Market community. You know, meant a lot to just like the residents that were in that neighborhood that. Out of like 6th Street, which if you've been down, have you been to 6th Street?
Yeah.
You know this famous 6th Street, right? This is a place where you see all the dirty needles and
other
things on the floor. It's like,
well, that was 6th Street.
Yeah, it's still a 6th Street.
It's still a little harsh, but I was down there the other day and I was like, this kind of is not as bad as it used to be.
So it's kind of getting better. It's like you know, there was right across the street there also was a house where it was burnt down and it was broken down from like the earthquakes, and they used to have like furniture coming out of it called the defenestration building. That building was just like a wreck, but we were able to get in that building one day to do a ghost hunt, and I'm just telling you, it was just it was a mess, but then we were able to go in there before they closed. They eventually renovated it and everything, and I mean they tore it down, they renovated it. Now it's a beautiful building. So
wow.
Yeah,
so I guess that brings us up to the present. We have Vampariah. And how long ago did you start that movie, and when did it come out?
Oh gosh, I started the movie in 2012, so now it's 2018 now. But it took 4 years to finish it, so we didn't get done till about 2016.
Right.
And then I spent 2 years just basically taking it to film festivals all around the world. It took us to LA, we're here in the Bay Area, New York, Eugene, Oregon. Then we had Hong Kong, and then we had Transylvania, which is in Romania.
Wow.
So this is
Birthplace of Dracula.
Like you were work, grind, hustled. You made sure this film got its distribution, really pushed it out there.
And you know where I seen that movie on? I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Yep,
yeah, Amazon Prime.
Go check it out.
You should go see it.
Amazon Prime, this thing.
Okay, I got to run up here.
You gotta run up and show them. Oh, yeah.
In your face.
You can't just do a flash screen or something. You just kind of run it up there.
I'm going to do a flash screen, too. I'm going to be...
We don't have no technology.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
No, but I'm going to say that's absolutely awesome. Like, when I was like, man, and it was cool because, like, I wasn't bluffing, and I know a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to see your movie, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, you just go see it. But you said go see it on Amazon Prime. And I went home, and I was like, well, let me find this shit.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to put some links down in the description below so you can check that out.
Just start watching it right here.
Yes.
Right after this, though. Not until you finish watching it.
Finish this, and then go watch it.
Yeah.
And so that brings us to...
Share it to your friends. Sharing is caring.
Yes, please.
Overshare.
Unless it's herpes.
Ooh. Don't share. Scott is acting like me. This is really... weird. He's sitting in the chair.
This is what happens. I'm taking the energy, the metaphysics right here.
The metaphysical.
I'm channeling Grover.
The pig energy of...
right.
And so going back now, I know you have a series, a Haunted Bay series?
Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, we went into that one place.
Whoa. Before we go, let's talk about the series and tell me what it's about, and let's tell all the people what it's about.
Well, Ying Liu is the director/producer of the show. I sort of came in the middle of shooting Vampariah, believe it or not. And she said she needed crew to go on ghost hunts and stuff. And I was kind of a fan of all the ghost shows, but very skeptical of any of this paranormal ghost kind of stuff because nothing seems to ever happen on those shows. It just kind of like bunch of people screaming in the dark. So
Playing
I
up the
thought,
drum,
but at the same time, I like to think that there's something more to this universe, and that maybe we don't something happens after we die or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I would want to just definitely help her out with that, especially because I know that if you're ever going to find any existence of any paranormal, it's got to be within the technology. And that being that I do films, I felt like that was my strong point. I can be really good with the camera. I can be good on the edit, and I could probably analyze the crap out of any footage that people say there's something paranormal happening, and that's what I do. So she takes me on all these places that I didn't think we'd be going. So with Defenestration was one. We did the Great Star Theater, and coming back to Vampariah, when we screened Vampariah in San Francisco, we were in the Chinatown Great Star Theater, which is no longer open, unfortunately.
Oh, that's horrible.
It was a beautiful place. We backed out the house of like 300 people. It was huge.
That's awesome.
A lot of people were there that night. But the thing was, we did a pre-show, and we knew that the place was apparently haunted. So what we did was several weeks before we did the show, we would go in with the Alameda Paranormal Researchers, psychic medium June Ahern, and we would actually just do a paranormal sweep of this place. We did an entire episode just on the Great Star Theater, and we didn't hold out. We showed that thing before Vampariah. Well, people were still sitting in the theater that we were telling them is haunted, and they all started freaking out.
That's awesome.
Honestly, I haven't seen that much synergy in a movie theater in a long time. It's like almost kind of like going to see like if you were going to go see the Blair Witch or The Exorcist or something on the first run when you knew you were in for something. Yeah. Oh, holy crap, what's going to happen next, man?
Well, I think the original Blair Witch Project was probably one of the last true, horror movies that you really, it was almost...
There was a synergy about it.
Yeah, it was almost made like Alien, where, you didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah.
But it was fucking bad.
People were excited to be in the theater, and I totally miss that experience nowadays, because I guess technology is bringing so much to us, and in all kinds of formats that we just never knew we had before. So I do miss that theater experience. So I think that the fact that we were able to show Vampiriah in a theater and then start playing these kind of fun little, it wasn't a prank because it was really a legitimate paranormal haunting video, right?
Yes.
But you were almost setting up the mood, kind of.
Yeah, it was setting up the mood. We're playing eerie music.
I think it was genius. Yeah, I think it's absolutely genius.
Beautiful.
I think that you're probably one of the smarter people I've interviewed.
Well, you're having them immerse into the
environment. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I try my. Oh yeah, and also I'm always dressed up. I'm always looking in my. I was actually dressed in my vampire. I had my vampire contact lenses on.
I remember seeing many pictures of that.
Yeah.
I always follow you on Facebook, and I see pictures. I'd be like, and it was funny because I thought about doing this podcast about the time where I started seeing you. Mm-hmm. So a couple of years ago, I started seeing you everywhere in vampire gear. And Scott at the time was in LA. Mm-hmm. And other people I said I'd like to do a podcast with, I quickly disqualified them without even talking to them because I didn't think that they would have the grind or the durability to do something like this. Because you have to understand that a lot of podcasts, you do something you really like for free for a long time. That's just what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm. Or unity.
and so, but I'd see you, and it was one of the people I said, man, I think it'd be cool if I get my shit together enough that I could talk to him. I mean, I'm sure I could get in touch with you, have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
But I just, it was so unique how I seen you build it. Mm-hmm. And I think you deserve a lot of kudos for that. And, I just really think I think that Vampiriah, I think it's a shame that movie wasn't bigger than it currently was, because if you take the movie for what it is, it's absolutely awesome.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So did a light blow out in this motherfucker? Something happened?
Oh, so what happened? There's an automatic light that comes on and off in motion. If I just wave my arm around a little bit,
we got to wave our arms around it.
The Happens Podcast Project.
Throw your hands in the air and wave it like you just don't care.
Nothing paranormal.
We are experiencing technical difficulties.
So no, but let me tell you what I thought it was. We were talking about vampires and and the light went off and I almost left. It was gonna be that. It was gonna be the happiness running the fuck out of the house podcast.
Not the scary project, right?
It's funny. Matt and I will
happiness.
still be sitting here,
Yeah,
and we'll see Grover leave.
yeah.
I've been through some scary stuff in my time with the Haunted Bay, and of course I've been to Transylvania, which is.
So what's the scariest time he was in the Haunted Bay?
Oh, there was easily that when I was in the defenestration building, June Ahern, we were about to just wrap up, and June Ahern, our psychic medium, just says, "I hear something. It sounds like crying," and then we don't hear anything because it's how she senses it, right?
Right.
And we're in. If you watch the video, you realize the interior of this building is very frightening. It's like a gutted house. Like it's like you see hallways, but there's no walls. It's just columns of beams, like wooden beams.
Right.
And it's
okay.
really dark and it's just really horrible looking.
So just the bones of the house.
The bones of the house is there. One room looks just horrible. It's like there's a red table and there's like bird droppings everywhere. So we had to wear masks the whole time. But June Ahern says she hears something, and she walks down this hallway and she says she sees a woman. She's all bloody, and of course we still don't see anything. And I got the cameras on, and there's a cameras behind me, and I'm following her,
right.
Like just following her, and then suddenly she goes, "She's coming this way," and she starts bolting, right? She's bolting away from whatever it is, and I'm following her. So that means that after a certain period of time, she just passes me by,
right?
And I'm by myself now, and she says it's coming our way. And the cool part of it is there's a camera behind me that captures my reaction to her saying, "It's coming this way," and she goes this way, and I go, "Where are you going?"
Hold on. Yeah.
Where can we find this footage? I mean,
it's online. You can watch it. Defenestration. I'll play it for you guys before you guys leave because I think it's hilarious. It's kind of funny in retrospect. But I'm wearing a face mask, so you can't see all of my face, but you can see my eyes just.
We gotta have that link.
Yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of links on this. This is awesome. And the light just came on. I almost ran again.
Yeah, because we're moving around.
So now I know about Vampariah.
Yes.
And I know about your work on the Haunted Bay.
Yes.
So any other projects out there before we get to the project that's currently building? Is there any other projects out
as
there?
As far as like films, I mean, it's really just all about getting to work on a new movie because I mean, when I did Vampariah, it was of course wasn't like the biggest budget film.
Right.
In some ways, I think it's kind of great that it almost isn't the great big budget film. So it actually shows how much money we sometimes don't get.
Yeah.
Shows how much love to the finished product. I mean,
yeah,
the visuals, it's there.
Yeah. And I actually enjoyed the writing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like that's something that me personally I look at. It's funny because everyone who ever wrote anything, like if you wrote a creative sentence in your life, you're like, I can write anything in the world. Hear me roar. But when I looked at it, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Very good character development here. I don't remember all the characters' name, but Mahal's main protagonist, which is the white cat who's like the head of the.
Scott Matheson. He's Kilmore.
Kilmore, yeah.
Kilmore.
That's a great name.
Yeah. But like the development of just how like he came in, and when you first seen him, he can go any way. Mm-hmm. He could be the hero of the show.
That was intended too.
He's a badass.
Yeah. But
no, he's actually, there's a great dynamic tension between them.
Yeah.
Even though they're on the same side.
Yeah, which happens. That's real.
Right. So I just thought that was really good. So tell us about your new project that you have.
Yes. Right now I'm working on a film called Die After Now, which is written by our visual effects guy, Julius Sanchez.
Hold on, we're going to give you that cheap-ass special effects right here.
Right here, Julius Sanchez. He actually even drew this really cool concept artwork for the film, so we don't actually have anything shot, except we do have a teaser trailer with a scary fly buzzing around with actor Gucci Lorenzana voicing over the main character, who is going to be actually the main character of the story.
Awesome. And so I don't want you to give away anything in the story, But just tell me kind of what it's about. You know, like just what can we expect?
Well, it's a child abduction story with a guy who has the ability to see into the potential future, and he's going to be helping out a young single waitress find this missing child. But in the process, he learns really about himself and how did he get these scary powers he has.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
that is pretty dope. And so I know you have a Kickstarter out.
Yes, Kickstarter.
So where can they find information on Kickstarter? How can they get to it? How can they donate? These people need to donate.
Yes,
everything they have, everything except your rent money. You don't go out to eat for 72 years.
No,
and make sure this movie
you don't
gets
even
made.
need a lot. I mean, like you don't as an individual, you don't have to give like a lot. It's like it just needs a synergy where a lot of people do it, and it's like this kind of stuff. You know, isn't always going to be approved by Hollywood studios. And the main thing is, you know, it's got to come down to patrons like anybody, you know, me, you, anybody.
Right. Okay. So don't give everything you can. Just give some.
Give some. Give what you can. I mean, if you're going to buy 2 movie tickets and you want to go out to a film, you know, you could give that to this film. You'll get 2 tickets to go see the exclusive screening. Of course, you have to get to the actual venue where we put it at, but you also get in the movie credits. That is way more than what just buying 2 movie tickets usually will get you, or at least the price of 2 movie tickets will get you. Plus, you could say you're a patron of the arts. You know, that's huge.
Dope. And not a lot of people actually say that nowadays.
Yeah,
not a lot of people. A lot of people could say they consume art. Mm-hmm. And that you stream art, you consume art, you look for art for free, you enjoy it, but you're not really a patron of it unless you're purchasing it.
Right.
And that's pretty dope. And so Kickstarter, how do they get to it? Is there a Facebook page, or is there anything that?
Yeah, we're all social media. You know, we're Facebook, we're Instagram, we're Twitter under Die After Now. And they have links to the Kickstarter, but if you want to go to Kickstarter itself, it's kickstarter.com, and then you just basically type in Die After Now in the search, and it will pull it up right away.
Excellent.
You'll see a fly. You'll see this little fly. We call him Goldblum, and he'll lead you the way. Just follow the fly.
Yeah. Something really interesting and that you told me that really stuck to me.
Wasn't about the girl, right? No.
No, the girls stick with me, not stuck to me. But I forgot the name of when somebody like a cut comes out that the director doesn't like.
Oh yeah. That's right. What the name that somebody calls themselves if they don't want their name actually attached to a project? Right. Yeah, that's Alan Smithee.
Alan Smithee. So this is the Alan Smithee episode because I think that is the funniest piece of trivia because I've actually seen it several times, and I thought that I'd be like, because I read credits, and I'd be like, Smithee,
who's this Alan Smithee?
Who's this writer?
He's good. He's actually not bad.
I was like, damn, he gets hella credit, but that's like a movie.
He never gets old either. He's just been around forever.
Been around for like 98 years.
98 years old, still working.
Yeah. He must have a crappy retirement plan.
I don't know what he's doing. He's funny. He took credit from David Lynch too. Apparently.
Yeah. So like, if there's a director's cut, or if there's something, or if somebody works on something that they don't really want their name associated with, they'll credit Alan Smithee.
So, which famous films have been?
We were watching a special so-called director's cut or special cut of Dune, which is know was directed by David Lynch, but the version that was released that was expanded so they could explain his unusual storytelling to the masses. He decided I don't want to have anything to do with this, and Alan Smithee was the director.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So like a lot of times, like let's say a director doesn't have creative control, but you always have control over your name. And so like maybe a version comes out he doesn't like, then you can put Alan Smithee on. And so it's pretty dope. When I was talking to Matt earlier about that, I thought, man, that's absolutely something that like it's kind of cool that only like somebody who makes movies would know. I didn't know it, but then I think about it and I've seen it. I've seen it before. So I think that, first of all, I want to do 2 things. I want to thank Matt for spending time. It is literally like 1 a.m, staying up with us.
Yeah.
Going to a venue change, letting us use his house, but actually sharing your story with us. And,
Thank you for let me do that.
Well, I mean, because I know, look, it's really hard, and I just want you guys to really understand this. It's not easy to do what you want to do in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't think that Matt, like somebody came and dumped a bucket of money on him and said, "Hey, go make your movie." No, he had to fundraise, one man gang, convince all these people to do stuff with him. You know, find venues. Venues, you know, took a shit on him. Get another venue. Find creative places to film. Find ways to get your special effects in without a big budget. All of the things that you take for granted when you watch a movie. Watch small independent films with a low budget and marvel at how they're able to do it with less than a quarter of the money that these other guys have.
Less than a quarter of the money.
Less than a quarter of a quarter of a quarter. Motherfucker made the film off of $1.50 and a ham hock. It's amazing, you know. It's amazing.
You miss a Taco Bell, you know.
So it still got on Amazon Prime. I mean,
yeah.
just...
And so you know, I met Matt. I believe Matt was 14 years old. I think we were both 14 years old.
I think we were about 14 years old.
Yeah, I'm hella proud of
Thank
you,
my friend.
Hella proud to know you, Matt. And
Thank you,
I think that one of the joys of doing this is that I get to talk to people that I like and give them a platform to talk about stuff. Now, while we're on the air, I'm gonna just personally hit Matt up for a movie role. If you're looking for any large, intimidating, scary brothers with a big gray beard who know martial arts and can like play a bartender or something, I'm in for it.
All right.
And Scott is willing to take his shirt off on any
Is that when you're hiding back there? Just like, let's got my shirt on.
Scott takes 90% of his pictures without a shirt.
Is that right?
And so you see the light turned on because they want to see that shit. And Scott takes 95% of the pictures without a shirt or in a tank top, I swear, or a tight t-shirt. But
I like the tank tops. I don't usually do that because you know.
Well, all right, so
try to be classy.
It just got creepy. It just got creepy. But no, I mean, I just want to say that I'm just happy. You know, really, I know this is a happiness podcast, but I'm happy for you, bro, because I know you're living your best life right now.
I'm doing my best. My best, man. Thank you.
That's awesome. So why don't you stick around with us? We're going to take another break, and we're going to come back and do our updates. And if you have something to update, tell us what you did. Yeah. You can do that.
Yeah.
And I know Scott has an update. I have a semi-update.
All right.
And you can have an update. So we'll be back in a second.
Peace.
Yeah. So are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Back?
Are we back?
All right. So this is a segment that we've been working on called Updates. It was updates and current events, and then it was just updates. Maybe next time it'll just be current events. Maybe we just won't do it anymore.
We'll work with it.
Yeah, but this is just something that I like to do. I always want to do something totally off topic. So I want to start with my update, and I want to give a big shout out to Fox News. Fox News, yes, the news you could trust, fair and balanced, professionals. They were.
My dad loves Fox News.
Your dad loves Fox News, yes. They were so professional that when Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, the person who had influenced every singer after her to come, like literally like Madonna, Celine Dion, Christina Aguilera, Alicia Keys, Beyonce, they're all like Aretha Franklin, Aretha Franklin, Aretha Franklin.
The original.
When she passed away, an American icon, the Queen of Soul, these motherfuckers put up Patti LaBelle's picture.
Patti LaBelle's dead?
Yeah, apparently they almost killed off. And it's so bad. Patti LaBelle's son had to call Fox and say, you know what, dude, my mom is not dead, blood.
Oh, okay, good.
That's Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, I'd be scared there for a minute, man.
And so, and the thing I love most is the memes are killing them. So it's like, they had like Rachel Dolezal. It's like Aretha Franklin dies, and they have any random black person's picture. But this is the sad part.
And Kanye West too.
Yeah, Kanye West. They said Aretha Franklin died. They have a picture of Kanye West in the meme. So I love it. I love it that they're killing it with the memes. I think it's funny. But this is the sad thing. In 2018, Fox, you still can't tell the difference between black people, and that's just fucking horrible.
That is pretty horrible.
Scott, you got something for us?
All right. Well, my update. Well, I don't even know how to start. I went down to LA. I had to do a couple errands down there. Spent a few days down there, which happened to turn out to a vlog. Met my friend Joe Corzo, who's an upcoming actor. He's a local Bay Area comedian who moved to LA to pursue acting full time. So I had a really fun experience. So in a nutshell, had about 3-4 hours of sleep, 3 consecutive days in a row. Came back up to Sacramento, met up with one of my good friends who happens to be in the tree business.
Tree business?
What kind of trees?
It's just the tree business.
Oh, that tree. Okay, I got it.
The green trees?
It's very green and it's very aromatic too. So,
but it's legal. It's legal.
It's definitely legal.
Legal in California.
It's definitely legal.
Right.
So
Cali.
He had an issue. We had to go over to his greenhouse. We got to take out a bunch of plants. He basically looked at me, got this phone call, and he's like, Scott, I know you just came back from LA. You down a ride? And after what the man has done for me, I was like, all right, let's run it. So that's what we did. I got covered up in resin, took down a bunch of plants, dried it, cured it, and then, yeah. Oh, and then I blew out my back. That's what he's referring to, what I've been playing around all night.
Don't you ever stand up and show the camera your ass again, as long as you
I'm surprised you did that.
I surprised myself.
Stand up and show the camera his ass. Nobody wants to see that.
I'm gonna have to work on my neck now.
So let me recap your update, Scott. You went down to LA.
Went down to LA.
Worked your ass off.
Worked my ass off.
Went to Sacramento.
Went to Sacramento.
Worked your ass off.
Worked my ass off.
Got your clothes full of resin.
Mm-hmm.
Then you brought your clothes to me and I smoked them. And then you blew your back out.
I blew my back out. It was fun. It was an eventful 4 days. But you know what?
In 4 days.
Memorable.
In 4 days.
In 4 days.
Okay. Scott, you can never do an update again. All right. Matt, you got anything for us?
Well, I don't know. I just think that I've just been with a bunch of different organizations trying to also just do legwork to promote my film. But I think this week we all just went crazy for Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah, because we all went en masse to that movie because that's.
You guys went to watch the movie Crazy Rich, which did about 32 million.
Yeah, it had a great weekend, and so I'm just we haven't seen a film that is quite like this in quite some time that's actually produced by a Hollywood studio. So I felt that was kind of an event to actually go out and see it. And again, it comes back to the most important hashtag of pretty much my week: representation matters.
Excellent.
Yeah,
this motherfucker got really deep and serious on us, and
I know. I'm sorry to get all deep because that's where I'm at right now.
Excellent. We're gonna have to hug after this. No, but I'm
gonna show my butt. He does something important.
If you want me to show my
Franklin
butt,
died, like God bless, seriously.
That's pretty deep too. Aretha Franklin died's pretty dang deep.
Yeah, but Fox, if they want to.
Well, Fox is what Fox,
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this still. I want to say something about Crazy Rich Asians. A lot of times that we sit and we watch movies, and like I know as a black person, when I look at movies, when I was growing up, I was really upset there wasn't a lot of black people on television. There wasn't a lot of black movies. And then when we started getting black movies, we was thug like a motherfucker, man. I was so happy when Denzel Washington would play somebody decent and not a thug. Like Denzel Washington, when he played a police officer, I was happy about him. When he solved crimes, I was happy about him. And then, Morgan Freeman, he always played somebody very, very dignified, but Morgan Freeman's been old my whole life. Like Morgan Freeman's like 750 years old.
I don't even know if he's ever been young.
I think Morgan Freeman may be a vampire though. So
he has been old for a long time.
I want to write a movie about Morgan Freeman being a vampire because he hasn't aged since like 1960. But
Morgan Freeman is a vampire.
That's when he got bit. But I think that we would be remiss not to look at other people and say that they go through the same thing. And so when you look at it, I could say that like there's not a lot of movies that have an Asian cast that they're not like straight stereotypical.
Right.
It's not stereotypical like, oh well, I mean, I would. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to see an Asian cast of straight average motherfuckers.
Pretty much.
That's what I'd like to see because every time you see an Asian person casted on television, they got to be a doctor. They got to be this or they got to be that. They got to be this. But like we need to get to the point where you could.
We need our Denzel Washington is what we need. Yeah. Sir. I mean, sir, because Denzel Washington, the great thing about an actor like him, he is anybody.
Yeah.
It's like it's like They didn't cast him to be a black actor. They just cast Denzel Washington. Just be Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of things like that.
Because Denzel got that swag, though.
That he does got that swag.
Denzel got that swag.
I ain't gonna lie about that.
Too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, I think Will Smith too, but like, here's what.
Airplane.
Yeah.
Airplane.
South San Francisco, the industrial city, San Bruno,
Here
the
it
city right
comes.
by it. Airplane
That's
going.
only that is only
That
a
sounds
4.
real low.
That's only a 4 at the highest being 11.
Yeah,
That was only a 4.
that's probably like that
Low
airplane
grade.
right there is probably like a little propeller plane. It ain't like a 747. But listen, I just want to get this out really quick because I was trying to make a serious point. Just saying that like Asian Americans, they deserve just like everyone else to see representations of themselves that are doing regular everyday jobs just like Asian Americans do.
Yep.
You know, and I think that Asians get the model minority thing stamped on them.
Yeah.
They said, look, you guys are the model minority. Everything's fine for you. You're successful in all walks of life and this, not this. But if you look deeper than everything, because someone's successful in the walk of life does not mean that they're equally represented
Right.
on things that they want. Now, I don't believe in equal representation and things that are financially competitive. Like, I don't need equal representation with somebody who doesn't work as hard as me. That's just it. And I'm down to outwork anybody, so it's okay. But something like a television show that you're sending out to the masses, well, there's a large group of Asian Americans who could see themselves and, you know, Asian dollars spend actually better than the average dollar because Asian dollars stay in the community longer. And so I just say that, like, I'm pretty psyched. I haven't seen the movie yet. But just to see the reviews for Crazy Rich Asians, and just you know, I mean, I'm lucky. I know an Asian American film director, and so I want him continued success. My sidekick is Asian.
Yeah.
I'm now a sidekick.
Yeah.
My sidekick is now Asian. You know what? He was my partner until this motherfucker kept stealing the intro. So now, since he steals the intro every day, sidekick status.
The Asian man's got to have his screen time. All right.
All right. So
yeah.
This is the Happiness Podcast coming live and direct from the Vampire's Lair.
Yeah. Well, this is part of the Vampire's Lair. The real Vampire Lair is actually that direction.
Yeah.
Which I'll take you on a little tour if you want to see that one too.
We'll go on a tour with that, and maybe we'll put up some pictures or some stuff if allowed
There's some
to.
cool stuff in there. You'll see what I mean.
On our Facebook page. But we're signing off. The next podcast scheduled, we have Bay Area comedian Amira.
Sweet.
It's going to be quite exciting. So we'll see you guys next time. And we're out.
Wait.
Hold on. Wait. I was trying to leave. and he stopped me. I just want to go.
You got to do your sign out of your name.
Oh, my name?
Yeah.
They know me already. We did this all the time.
You got to have it. It's like a catchphrase. It's a thing, you know? It's a gimmick.
So I gotta say my name?
You got to say your name.
And did you say your name?
And I say my name.
Do I have to say where I'm from or what I do?
We don't need all that. But
You don't need all that?
No.
All right. Okay. This is Grover Reese of Guerrilla Combatives.
This is Scotty of Auric Unity.
And we are the Happiness Podcast Project.
And
we're out.
No!
Boom! Ah, Jesus, again? Huh? Oh, I forgot. We're trying this new shit. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to start again. Okay. This is Grover Reese of Guerrilla Combatives.
This is Scotty of Auric Unity.
And we are the Happiness
Podcast Project.
Have you tried happiness?
Grab yourself a slice.
Boom. Hey. We're out. Woo!